Listen, I tell you always that you should study the glossary. And I made you stand in the last class, I remember, so that I hope you would have studied the glossary and come. Those who suffered on that day. And I did not see anyone suffer on that day, I think. Right? So no one studied it. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? You studied it. Okay. Let me see. From the girls or from the boys? From the boys. Boys first. Always boys wants to be first. So boys first. You. Okay. Tell me what is lionized. Hey, without seeing you should say the answer. See, don't waste my time. Those who did not study, please stand. Those who did not study, girls, those who do not know the meanings of the words must stand. Others can sit, including girls. Girls studied it. All the girls, pa, you come front, pa. Those who are sitting, come forward. Where is our school leader? Sit. Okay, pa. Others, please keep quiet. Take your book. Study. We will start it sooner. You study. What is lioness, dear?
Treated as celebrity.
Treated
As a celebrity.
as a celebrity. Sit, ma. You, ma. Celebrity.
The person was famous.
A famous person. Sit, ma. You. Consented. Repel. Resist. Victim. Sufferer. The shortest answer. I need answer. Who is the victim? Suffered of what? Intrusion. What is intrusion? Sit. What is journalism?
That would be a profession of writing for newspaper, magazines, or news websites, or
Good. Primitive.
old or traditional.
Okay. Boys. Very good, boys. Maintain this. You have come here to stand and to just pass the time. And you are doing it in better way. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Wonderful. Marvelous. Come to the class. The part 1, V.S. Naipaul. Did I mention who is V.S. Naipaul? He is one of the writers, right? He was a novelist, writer, essayist who has his origin of India. His origin is from India, but he is not living in India. He was called as diaspora. How will he be called as diaspora? The one who is immigrated from our country in order to live in another country. They'll be called as diaspora. The reasons may be differ. The reasons may differ. They are called as diaspora. Did you understand? So V.S. Naipaul feels. What was his feeling? On what he feels? On what? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Interview. What are we talking about? Interview. And what does he feel about interview? So already we saw the merits and demerits of interview. Did you study that? Merits and demerits of interview. Merit said that it is the highest form of truth. And also practicing interview is an art. So those are merits. And also it is mentioned by Christopher Sylvester as an exaggerated statement. Am I right? Exaggerated statement. What was the word used for exaggeration? Extravagant. Very good. What was used? Extravagant. Exaggerated statement. What was the statement? What was the statement, ma? Statement. What is mentioned there as exaggerated statement?
Highest form.
Read that sentence. Sit here. Read.
Some might make quite extravagant claims for it as being in its highest form.
In its highest form. When it is coming for its form, form means what form? Media. The media, right? Interview comes under media. In the form of media, which is kept as highest one, the highest one. Of what?
A source of truth.
Source of truth. And
In its practice,
in its practice it is
an art.
an art. So those are the merits. And how many demerits were mentioned there so far? Did we come across any demerits?
Three.
3. What are they?
One, it is
1, it is by
unwanted intrusion.
unwanted intrusion,
Their life,
interfering their life.
and they might see them as an affected person because of interview.
Come again?
Interfering someone's personal.
Interfering someone's personal. Now we are going to see the celebrities' point of view on interview, right? So first one is V.S. Naipaul. What he said, feels that some people are wounded by interviews. On using what will you be wounded? Using what will you be wounded? Words. Then weapon. Weapon. Using weapon, you will be wounded. As she said, there are 2 types of wounds. One is physical wound. Another one is mental wound. Mental wound. According to Thiruvalluvar says something about it. What did he say? What did he say about it? தீயினால் சுட்ட புண் உள்ளாரும் ஆறாதே நாவினால் சுட்ட வடு. நாவினால் சுட்ட வடு. If you are wounded by a physical weapon, knife, etc., if you are wounded by that, it will be healed. There will be complete healing. But when you are wounded mentally through words, that wound will never be healed from your mind, heart. Right? So here you can see the statement by V.S. Naipaul that interview are the medium which wounded. So here, according to V.S. Naipaul, what was used as weapon here? Interview. What is used here as weapon? Interview is used as a weapon to wound the people. And according to V.S. Naipaul, some celebrities, especially some celebrities were wounded by interviews, and also they were not only wounded, but also what happened? They lost their part. For example, if someone took a knife and cut your finger, what will happen? Your finger will be separated. Your finger will be separated. The barber is cutting your hair. After cutting the hair, what happened to your hair? It comes out, right? Like that, using weapon, if you cut something, it will be parted from your body. Like that, after anyone gave interview, after they were wounded by the interviewers, the interviewee may think, that celebrity may think some of their part was taken from them. What was actually taken? Is it a physical part? No. They may have some secrets in their life. They may have some secrets in their life which was maintained for a long time, which had been maintained for a long time, but those secrets, it might be one secret or two secrets, because of that interviewer, they may lost that secret. They could have been thinking that secret as their life, right? But because of that interview, because of that one interview, they lost it. Did you understand that statement? Did all of you understand that statement? So the statement is feels. Who feels? Who feels? V.S. Naipaul. Don't act as if you are studying. Real studying is different from pretending to study. Don't pretend for anyone. Switch on the front lights or the center lights. Switch on the back lights, ma. Enough. Enough, ma. Enough. Ma, it is not working. That switch is not properly working. That MCB. Sit. Listen. Day. You must understand one sentence, only one sentence, how much meaning is there. How much meaning is there in that one sentence? You must listen properly. Again I say, please don't pretend for someone that you are studying. Study for you. You are not here studying for your principal or your chairman or for me. You are here for you and your parents. Listen. Lewis Carroll. Who is the second person? So did you come to know clearly what V.S. Naipaul says? Without looking at the board, say what Naipaul says. People are wounded. By who? By what? By interviews. And what happened to them? They have lost their part of something. Their part. Right? That is what part of themselves. Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll is one of the men, one of the fiction writers. He created Alice in Wonderland. See, Alice in Wonderland, it was not mentioned there. He wrote Alice in Wonderland. I also write something, but it was not a creation. You also write something, it will not become creation. You would have come to know there are so many poets in this world. How many of you are poet? Do we have any poets here? We don't have, because we have here gamers. Computer gamer, not a physical gamer. You are gamers, you are loafers, you are time wasters. We cannot have poets here, because poets need knowledge, high level of thinking, words, select words should be there. You should select pure words to write poem. So, but we have thousands and thousands of poets in our country. But who was prescribed in our 12th book? Were all of them prescribed there? Only 5. Selected one. Why? Because they did something great. Like that, this man, Lewis Carroll. Who is this man? Lewis Carroll did not just write it. He created a world where if you read the novel Alice in Wonderland, you may not having the feeling of reading it. You may have the feel of being with Alice, traveling with Alice. He may make you travel with Alice. He may make you think whatever Alice is feeling. Also, he will make you think. So that only he is called as creator, not just writer. Right? He created Alice in Wonderland, was said to have had what he think interviewers, a just horror of the interviewer. He mentioned that interviewer, the thing which is doing by interviewer as a horror. What is meant by horror? What is horror? Something to be afraid of. What is horror? Which something to be afraid of. So, according to Carroll, Lewis Carroll, he is afraid of interviewer. And he never consented to be interviewed. And what never happened? He never accepted. Consent means accept, permit. He never permit himself to be interviewed by anyone. Who? Lewis Carroll. Because he mentioned interview as a horror, he mentioned he never consented to be interviewed. It was his horror. What was his horror? What was his horror? To be lionized. What is by lionized?
Treated as a
He have the fear whether he will be lionized. He will be made that he should think himself as a celebrity. He don't want it to be like that. Who? Lewis Carroll. See here, this is one of the very important lines and also one of the confusing lines of the prose. And it is very clear. Wonderful lines. All of you listen. Ready? It was his horror of being lionized which made him. He do not wanted to be lionized so that is what which, so that he himself made something. What did he make? He made thus repel. What is my repel? Oppose, resist. He oppose would be acquaintances. Who would he repel? Who would he oppose? Who would he say no? To whom he would say no? He said no to acquaintance. What is meant by acquaintance? Friend, a neighbor. Yeah, close friend. Not a close friend. Yes, that is what I said. Friend, that's it. Right? A friend, acquaintance, and then he did not allow any interviewers and he did not allow any persistent petitioners for his autograph. People are there. If you are a fanatic of someone, a favorite hero or heroine, because your favorite or hero heroine only, right? Is there any other celebrity in your life who is famous for you? Who you think that they are famous? Who? Cricketers. Then singers, influencers, everyone related to media, everyone related to visual media, right? Apart from visual media, who? What is that? Fighters, boxers, violence. Apart from violence, that is violence, right? Apart from violence, is it? Day. That is what I told, that it is visual media. Writers. Who do you know? Kalanidhi Maran is not a, is he a writer? He is also coming under director. Ayyo. Quiet. Hey, I told you not to talk in Tamil. Authors, writers, okay. I know what answer I will get from you. We'll stop here. Listen class, listen the class. See, he do not like interviewers. He is afraid that whether he will be lionized, and so he opposes. He opposes his friends, he opposes the interviewers, and also he opposes the petitioners of autograph. What sort of petitioners they are? What sort of petitioners? Persistent. Did you come across persistent in any of the lesson? Where? Forgot. Persistent. Day. Persistence. Did you come across persistence? Reborn. Deep water. Rat trap seller. Rat trap. Where else? Indigo. Who was persistent? Rajkumar Shukla was persistent in what? In convincing Gandhi to come to Champaran. Persistence. So here, what is here mentioned as persistence? Who was persistent here? The readers. The readers were persistent. I told you now. Like nowadays, you have the craze. Like nowadays, you are the fanatics of heroes and heroines. In those days, many people are fanatic and many people are crazy about the writers. Even now, in Kerala, writers were celebrated. Writers were kept in high position because they know that writers are the people who mold the society. So, they were kept in high places. So, in those days also it was like that, and in English land it was like that. Lewis Carroll, who was always being followed by people for getting signature. So, he resisted everyone, he stopped everyone. Successfully he stopped afterwards, and he would afterwards relate the stories of his success. In what he got success? In what he got success? Lewis Carroll. Very good. In silencing. He made all the people to become silent. Which people? Those petitioners, those interviewers, the acquaintances. Everyone becomes silent. No one is then talking about, I am the neighbor of Lewis Carroll. Come, let me take you to his house. No one is coming. No one is worrying about Lewis Carroll is there, we should go on to take interview. Then no one is worrying about the sign of Lewis Carroll. After he made all those things, he wrote all those success in his writings and silencing all such people with much satisfaction and amusement. So that because of that making silence, give him satisfaction, and he was very amused, because it was mentioned in the before paragraphs that because they were become celebrities, they were unable to go to film or any general places. They cannot go because the people will be surrounded, the people may surround them, so that they cannot do their daily activities. So that was stopped by who? Lewis Carroll, and he made it. Did you understand? Did you understand this slide, this page? Shall we move to the next one? Rudyard Kipling. First we saw V.S. Naipaul, then we saw Lewis Carroll. Now who is this? Rudyard Kipling. This man is Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling expressed an even more condemnatory attitude toward the interviewer. Condemnatory. What is my condemnatory? Disapproval. Strong disapproval. What is here? It is a strong disapproval. He showed a strong disapproval towards the interviewer. Why? See, his wife Caroline. What is his wife's name? Caroline writes in her diary. On which day? On 14th October 1892, that what was the writing? Their day was wrecked. What is by wrecked? Distracted, broken. Something bad happened. Wrecked. Totally collapsed. What was collapsed? What was collapsed? Their day was collapsed. Suppose it is your birthday. Suppose it is your birthday, you are waking up with so many ideas, you are thinking that you are going to be very happy on that day, but in the morning itself, if you are being scolded by your mom or dad, what will you think? You are going to think that the day is going to be spoilt, and then you are going to your school, and while you are reaching the school, while you are stepping inside the bus conductor is scolding you for something, right? And after you have seated yourself, your friend is scolding you for something, and then coming to the class, teachers are scolding you continuously. If you are being scolded, listen, continuously if you are being scolded, on the end of the day you will think, oh my God, my day was wrecked, my day was spoiled. You will never forget that birthday, right? So like that here, hey, what is the agitation there? I think some of you should be brought out. What is it? 14 October 1892. What was the date? 14 October 1892. She wrote that their day was wrecked by two reporters from Boston. Two reporters from Boston. Boston is a newspaper name, right? Newspaper's name, which is running in Boston. She reports her husband as saying to the reporters. So her husband was saying something to the reporters. What was told? Why do I refuse to be interviewed? He is asking question. Who? Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is asking this question. What was the question? Why do I refuse to be interviewed? Because he said it is immoral. What was the first answer? Immoral. What was mentioned here as immoral? Giving interview. Interview itself is immoral. What is immoral? Which is against moral. What is immoral? Which is against moral. What is moral? Which is logically correct. Right? So, something which is logically incorrect, that should be called as immoral, and he mentions interview as immoral. That is the first reason. Then again, the second point he say, it is a crime. What was told? It is a crime. What is mentioned here as crime? Interview. What is meant by crime? See, it is a crime. It is a crime as just as much of a crime as an offense against any person as an assault, and just as much merits punishment. What sort of crime? He relates the crime to assault. What is meant by assault? Physical attack. Aggressively attack someone physically will be called as assault. If someone assaults someone, what should be done to them? According to the law, they should be punished. What should be done to them? They should be punished. Right? They should be imprisoned. They should be punished. That is what merits punish here. Merits means they should be given. Who should be given punishment? The one who is assaulting another one. They should be punished, and it should be called as it is crime. And what was here compared to that such crime? Interview. Interview is mentioned here as crime, and what is compared to? It is compared to a physical assault. Did you understand? And also he mentions that it should be given punishment. It merits punishment. Did you understand? Did all of you understand that point? No respect, then it is covered. What is meant by covered? What is meant by covered? Mad. The one who is not brave. The one who is not brave enough to come forward and say what is right. Right? So that is those person will be called as cowards. Who is here called as coward? The one who is interviewing. And the interview is called as vile. What is by vile? Evil. What is vile? Evil, which is something very, very bad. Evil. Right? So what is here mentioned as coward and evil? Interview. Then he mentioned, no respectable man would ask it. Who will not ask it? Respectable man will not ask for interview. And it much less give it. Much less people only give it. Yet means but. But Kipling had himself means he himself perpetrated. What is by perpetrated? Doing something evil. The same evil. What is mentioned here as evil? Interview. The same evil was done by Kipling himself. He told that it is evil, but he did the same evil to who? He said it is perpetrated such an assault. He told interview as an assault. The same assault was done by Rudyard Kipling on Mark Twain a few years before. What does it mean?
He himself interviewed.
Another term we can call it. Okay, today's class over, go to break.